God, this tea is so fucking good, dude. I love it. It's Earl Grey, but with a hint of orange, a hint of vanilla, a hint of cream, and that's all the tea itself. And then I've added a little bit of sweetener and probably like a teaspoon and a half of honey, which is what's supposed to help the throat. And my God, is it fucking good. Right, Din Din? It's so good. I love it. It is so good. And I don't like honey. Like, I don't like the taste of honey, but it works really well with this tea. Like, really, really well. Yeah, it really is, Gyarados. It really, really is. All right, let me check something real quick. I need to see if I need to do something. Nice. Jack and I are having a little fun, as we do. All right, you guys ready to figure out this double murder? Because I am. I'm so fucking ready to go. Dude, I'm so ready. This game is fucking top tier. And the fact that there's still 2 more after this just makes me rock hard, dude. Makes me rock fucking hard, dude. Okay. Sorry, had to clear off my messages. Sip a little tea. Well, I appreciate it, Gyarados. Thank you for still supporting the stream while keeping yourself spoiler free. I do appreciate it. All right, so yeah, these dudes, they very dead. I have several theories. We'll see which one's right. I feel like I'm close on one of them, but we'll see. Have I talked to you? After their bodies disappeared, we split up to look around. I was really scared, so we stuck together. We came right to the repository to look around. When we got here, it was locked. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I talked to you then. Yeah. It was locked, for sure. Okay. Is there anything in here I haven't seen? I don't think so. Hey, you know what? You know what, Jack? It's not my fault. Shut up. There's only one way in and out of this room, through the door that Hina said was locked before. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside. Oh, really? So it's one of those push lock things. I do, Gyarados. That's how I started, honestly. What's up, Joshua? I mean, he was, maybe. He's definitely not now. He's dead. I don't see any way to lock it from in the art room. So when it was locked, someone alive was in here. And then unlocked it later. Huh. Hina checked it. Someone had already gone in and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. Hina claims there's no way someone could have beat them to the repository. Yeah, see, that follows one of my theories that I really hope is right because it would be dope. Nurse's office, equipment room. Yeah, I got lots of choices. I'm ready to go. What's up, Meows? How you doing? Dirty Grandpa stream is my favorite kind. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna check out the probably check out the equipment room since it's up here. Foxy Grandpa? I mean, you're back? Uh-oh. I hope everything went well. I'd like to go to a chiropractor and just have him step on me. That sounds lovely. She's crazy, and yet I can't help myself. Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That would be the dolly. That reminds me, about the dolly in the repository, there was blood on its tire. Okay, this plays into my theory. My theory still stands. Which means Taka's body removed from the equipment room to the repository using that. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Oh yeah. There's no way to get his body up here from the 3rd floor. I think I've got it. It's really clever, but I do think I have it. This tarp, I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and just recently too. Gee, I fucking wonder. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event. I mean, I'll give you guys my entire theory in case you missed it, but I don't want anyone to confirm or deny it, obviously, because that would be spoilers. But to kind of give you an idea of where my train of thought is right now, what I think the most prevalent theory is, based just based on what I've learned so far in the investigation, I think that Hifumi killed Taka and faked his death in the nurse's office. And then when we all left, I would guess maybe he remote controlled the robot or something like that, and like used that to make himself look innocent in some way, shape, or form. That part's a little fuzzy for me, but I think he's the one that got the dolly, because he's not especially strong. He got the dolly and he took Taka's body into another place, and then when we found his body in there, he was still alive. I think what happened is someone found him while he was moving the bodies and then killed him. I think Hifumi killed Taka, but I think somebody else killed Hifumi. I think it's a double murder, but I think it's 2 different people that killed them. Hifumi killing Taka and somebody else killing him. The fact that Kyoko and what's his face, fortune teller dude, I don't know what's up there yet, but that's my current working theory. Yeah, hero. Yeah. Looks like she doesn't have anything important to say. There's a really loud sound when I do that. Let's see. What did I pick up last time? See, there's another thing that leads to that theory. He couldn't see, so he wiped his glasses off. He would also be the one that would know most about sculptures. That's kind of my thought too, Tractor. And also the body has been found alert went off when they found Hifumi's body, but Hifumi's body and Taka's body were discovered at the same time. Wouldn't it have made 2 announcements? But it didn't. So I don't know. We'll see. Could be completely wrong, of course. I don't know. But I like that idea. It's really clever. Okay, there's always a chance they killed each other, but I kinda doubt it. What am I doing? I want nurse's office, so down the stairs. But yeah, for those of you that missed it yesterday, Black Ops got locked.
Hey, stupid!
Thanks, Molasses. So, lending to what I was about to say, for those of you that missed it yesterday, Black Ops got locked in, Mario got locked in, and Castlevania got locked in, so there's 6 new games. None of them have anything on it. That's about to change. Oh, I have a message, do I? Well, let me check that real quick while I down some more tea. It's good fucking tea. Gotcha. What do you want to put it on? Oh, I pick which game. Oh, ooh. That's rough. Because let me think of what's up there. There's, oh god, I've forgotten. There's Wolfenstein, there's Dark Souls, there's Super Mario Land, there's Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, there's Dead Space 2, and then there's Pokemon Leaf Green, and then there's the 2 Zeldas that are fucking around. You know what? I'm going to go with the one I think is gonna get the least oomph, and I'm gonna go Castlevania. I'm gonna go Castlevania. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want, Fuzzy. Yeah, what are you doing here? I'm not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I'm simply going around seeing if Hero might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, just playing the game. Main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body. How Hifumi was moved. Well, when it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Hina wasn't feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. Lords of Shadow is apparently the different one, as far as what I can remember. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. When you got back, the body was gone. It could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time. Carry someone off as big as Hifumi in only a couple minutes is, I can't think of anything less than impossible. There's a few theories. One I don't like, and it's that Sakura would be strong enough to do it without even breaking a sweat, but I don't think it was Sakura. Just saying. What's up, Brad? How you doing? Alright, so we got the murder weapon. Justice Hammer 3, the one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body, but left the weapon behind. A refrigerator. After everything I've been through, I'm totally parched. Maybe just a quick peek? There's a bunch of blood packets in here. And let me guess, some of them are missing? It doesn't help me, though. I'm not a vampire. Oh. Never mind. It's irrelevant. I hate using this because it hurts my ears. It's just a normal trash can. Wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. I guess it's a glasses cleaning cloth. Oh, dude, I've got you by the balls now. Some kind of cartoon character on it. It's also covered in blood.
Oh.
Did you find something? Yeah, a cleaning cloth in the trash can covered in blood. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood, but who would need to do something like that? Yeah, me either, but I think it might be important. Oh, it so is important. That's very important. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. What? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. In the dining hall. This is the new hero, right, to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
This makes it clear, right? This is a trap. Things grow ever more exciting. Ooh. I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
Even when he's nice, he's a fucking prick. I said to go to Hero's room, but what's waiting for me there? I think I'll just spend the rest of the investigation time getting capsules. Seriously, all the way down here? Door's unlocked. I guess I can go inside. Byakuya did say to look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. If it's a triple murder, I'm gonna lose my shit. And then my stream title won't make any more sense. Oh, that's a room. This is Hero's room. There's all kind of weird stuff in here. Where do you even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up. I'm sorry, is that camera glitching out? It is. That camera's glitching out. You see that? Nice. Which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints. Ooh, uh-oh. Some things made out of it. Looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster. Is this Robo Justice? And it's in Hero's room. But wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. The penmanship is dog shit. I want to investigate the table. No, I'm not done yet. It's a normal bed, pretty much like the one in my room. This camera exists in a parallel dimension and keeps flickering back and forth. Check out the bathroom, I guess. I soundlessly checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty grungy, though. How's the bathroom even get this dirty? Shit, maybe there's not anything else in here. I mean, we did find a pretty important clue. Can we read tarot here? We don't need his room to do it. I can do it. Makoto, big news! What? We found Kyoko. She okay? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news.
Just a second.
Robo Justice showed up too. It's Hiro wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyway, so you can head to the pool on the second floor. Go. Kyoko and...
I mean...
Man, I've had the worst day. Hiro?
Huh?
Yeah,
hey,
duh.
Makoto.
Who else would I be? I mean, that's a good question. Huh? What? Why do I look like this? What? Did someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati? Okay.
Right.
I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker. Looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean.
Can't believe you kicked me. You could have been a little more gentle about it. Like, I don't know, caress my face or something. You back off, jackass. She's mine.
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Wow.
There's something I had to check up on. What? Never mind. I can't never mind.
It's nothing.
Never mind. Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey.
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind?
And?
What? What? Something wrong with my camera? Oh yeah, my bad. Only took you 23 minutes. Move my fat face. Yeah, I'm sorry. Except I'm not sorry. Maybe I just didn't want you guys to see what they had to say. I'm the mastermind. I'm trying to hide the evidence so you guys can't figure it out. That's good too. I'm already half out and I'm only 30 minutes in. 20 minutes in. A likely story, Jack. A likely story. You were getting your scissors, weren't you? Can't fool me. First of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
I mean...
I don't know. 1 second I was asleep. I don't even know how that happened. And then I woke up and I was here. I don't care. Do something about that costume. It pains me to just look at you.
Huh? Let me out of here!
I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something you can't take off by yourself?
Got it all wrong!
Hey, make the stupid freaking thing.
It would seem...
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. Looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. I don't really have a choice. Let's help him. Took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get him out of the suit. Took a few minutes, but we got all the pieces off. I'm wondering how you fit all your hair in there. Like, my God. Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro?
So then...
More to the point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume.
Honestly.
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints are in your room as well.
Is that okay?
In other words, it's obvious to everyone that you made this costume. Yeah, we saw the blueprints.
Could it be?
Then it's obvious. The one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone was Hero. Shall we tie him up and gag him? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Good idea. We wouldn't want him killing anyone else.
What?
Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah. Attacking blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What the heck?
He does seem a little stupid to be able to build something with blueprints. It's been decided. You killed them. Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake hero running around.
Insane.
You're the only one who wear this costume. So who else could possibly be the costumed attacker?
What the heck?
How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me.
Okay.
Your boobs are not fitting there. Without missing a beat, Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is?
Eh.
I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hero could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again.
Ah.
Well, now you're all out of excuses. No, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Against my will, I picked the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good. The arms were too long. There's no way I can wear this.
Just a second.
See? Told you. You're absolutely right. Caesar's costume was made to fit Hero's body exactly.
But...
Then there's another costume. They must have what looks the same but fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the heck?
You claim there's another suit, yeah? Then you must find it and show it to us.
Just the worst.
Who cares? Hero's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
That's terrible.
Which is how we know it was him.
What?
He does seem fairly clueless. Maybe someone, like, tell me? Can I tell him? Can I break the news to him?
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Who was it? 2 people were killed. Taka and Hifumi.
What?
Yeah, 2 people.
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it.
Please.
Uh-oh. Wait, hold on. Are those 2 the ones that were killed?
How about that?
That's it. I know who did it.
So then.
You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over Alter Ego, right?
at least
Which means
30%
Alter Ego
right.
and or Chihiro must have done it. You know... Sometimes I really think that people in this game can't possibly get any more stupid. And then they have to say something like that. It's too many brewskis, bruh.
Correct.
That's unfortunate.
Please.
What the heck?
Stop trying to trick us. Just admit you did it, okay?
Oh,
I know
so
that note. Last night someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. Last thing I remember is going to the rec room and then for some reason I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the worst.
Not a chance.
So.
No, hold on. He could be onto something. That nurse's office did have chemicals that could do it.
Huh?
Formaldehyde. Someone's trying to set me up. Secret passage, a chance to escape. Someone wrote all that to trick me. And you would be the idiot that would fall for it. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned that, Night Fox, because that brings up a question that I would like to ask Jack. You might be hearing birds, Jack. There might be some outside. It's finally spring. Okay, so here's my question for you, Jack. I know in this game, Oh, it's not spoilers for like the game or anything, or even gameplay. It's just a question about something the developers may or may not have done. In this game, it's selective voice acting, as in some places are voice acted, most are not. Is the second and third like that, or are they more voice acted than the others? Or are they less voice acted? Are 2 and 3 more voice acted or less voice acted than the first one? Or about the same? Good thing we're taking a month break between each one then. Or it would kill me. After being trapped here so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. Still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it.
Just a second.
Show us the note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my pocket.
No way.
Looks like I lost it.
Please.
As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must provide evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. For serious. Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it. See, it's people like you that are gonna get us killed.
What the heck?
Why'd you kill him? Tell us here.
Just the worst.
Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? That must be it. You must be totally broke.
Please.
That's a false accusation. Womp womp.
What are you saying?
Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right?
What?
Oh, I know, right, Jod? Like, I guess that's why there's some dumb people in the game, you know? Feet don't fail me now. I guess I better get back to guard duty. I was gonna ask Toko or Genocide Jack to switch with me, but if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Bye then. One by one, everyone peeled away. I have all the time in the world for you. I want you to help me with the investigation.
It would seem...
Looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Yeah, sure, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. Thanks.
Anyway,
I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
shall we go? Hey,
So Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Can't believe I'm hearing that from someone the same age as me.
correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey.
I mean, that's accurate. Wouldn't you agree?
Anyway,
We have to hurry before the trial begins. Yeah, alright. So where the bodies are? They're in the repository. Which is on the 3rd floor. Yeah, it's true. Hips don't lie. That's for sure. Or so I'm told. I wouldn't know. Time is running out. Oh yeah, that's the art room. I'm an idiot. Who's going to the thing? I know, right? Like, and they'd have to pay the voice actors and actresses so much more than they probably did to cover all those lines, because they already recorded all the ones for like the class trial stuff. And also, you know, it wouldn't make sense to like voice act the like the internal dialogue that you have, like when Makoto's thinking to himself, you know? I try Night Fox. That's my specialty. It does, and it adds a little extra to the fully voiced scenes. Yeah, for sure. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid, but only for a moment.
so then,
Okay. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies.
I knew it.
Monokuma File was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable. You got anything?
I see.
Kodo, I found something.
Hey,
Remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand?
whew,
You're so oblivious to the people around you. Do you dislike other people that much? Oof. That hurts. That's not it. Anyway, so you said you had a watch?
So then.
Yeah, look. It's broken. You can't see the hand. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? So most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. If you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6. So that means the watch was broken sometime after 6.
That's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Yeah, I remember. Yep.
In other words.
So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. meaning it happened at 6 a.m.
However.
That's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something.
Makoto.
How did nobody notice this? Everyone's apparently being noisy today. Weird. I guess everyone's deciding, you know what? Jacob's playing Danganronpa. Let's all mow our yards and weed eat at the exact same time. Lovely. Yeah, what you got?
Because.
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Okay, I'll try. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. By the way, very accurate. Dead bodies are ridiculously fucking cold. Like, it's haunting how cold dead bodies are. And yes, I have. Thank you. A piece of paper.
Hey.
Is that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
Is that right?
Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body. All right, let's check his body. It's gonna take you about 3 times as long. You can check his body too. So did you find anything? More than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of
That's
paper.
right.
He had it hidden on him.
Indeed.
He stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see. In his pants. Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants. It's not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey.
Hey, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like, it better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. I found a hole maybe we can use to... So he had that note. I figured as much. Mm-hmm.
So...
Sounds very familiar. Yeah, it's what Hiro said. And he was telling us the truth.
However...
Well, it's not exactly the same, is it? That's right. He said it was rec room. That note says equipment room. So... Yeah. Rec room at 1 a.m. The time is different. Hiro told us his note said to meet at 1 a.m. The note he wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m. So this note was sent to Taka then.
Is that right?
Just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him.
So...
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's some likely some meaning there. Uh-huh. Could you maybe explain it in detail more? Yeah, I already figured it out. Makoto, try to keep up.
Hey.
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly?
So then...
What if it wasn't just scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. Yeah, I've already figured that out. The note Hifumi had. So Hifumi did kill. Okay, so my guess is that Hifumi killed Taka and used Hiro as the fall guy, but then somebody killed Hifumi. Huh.
Hey.
While we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The 2 victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them, so the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there's any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
Is that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. Oh? If Kyoko thinks it's important, I better keep it in mind. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh shit. It looks like it's time. I guess we have everything we need.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It would seem...
It's unfortunate. I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure the rest out for yourself and come to the proper conclusion.
Shall we go?
We shall. That haunting music every time. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there,
Monokuma appears!
I thought one was bad enough. Now we've got two.
Wrong.
It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I'm multiplied. Can you guys tell which one's the real Monokuma?
Whew.
Can we just get on the elevator, please?
Boy,
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay. Hey, hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train. Elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go. Please!
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore. You're gonna pay for your sins. I don't think it was him. That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume or the note? No. How unfortunate. It would seem we have our culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
Yep. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Ifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two that lost their lives. Hina's so dumb. You're back with what? And a what? I have no idea what either of those things are, Tractor. I'm sorry. Someone right here. I can't believe we're down to 8 people. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. Here we go. Clunk into the elevator, did the thing. Oh, shit. I use my PSP as a media player. Like, I would put music on my card and I would use it as like an iPod, basically. I was a massive dork. Ooh, it's pretty in here now. I see all you gathered here together like this. I realize just how few there are left. Your school life really is reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Oof. Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other? You really hate me so much, but I'm so cute.
Come on.
Whatever, just begin the trial. Don't rush me. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, whatever. Now, I bought a Vita on launch day. In fact, there was a version of the Vita that came out a week early for extra money, and I was stupid and impatient, and I bought that version. And we didn't really get anything. And a lot of the stuff that, like, that I would like now, I didn't really like back then. Like, I wasn't very heavily into, like, I didn't know the Persona series. And I didn't even know the world of visual novel games existed, so there wasn't much for me with a Vita. So I didn't really get anything for it. So it just kind of sat there and collected dust for like ever, and I kind of forgot about it. And then when I finally wanted something, the memory cards were so ridiculously expensive, I'm like, you know what? I'll just get a 3DS. There you go. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, defense, faith, a deadly class trial. Oh, I'm so ready. Yeah, I have some new skills. Let's check them out. The focus gauge decreases more slowly during concentration and fever time. Effective during the non-stop debate, the hangman's gambit, and the bullet time battle. Costs 5. Do it. Breathing technique. Focus gauge recovers more quickly. Do it. Those are actually pretty useful. All right, I want to look over everything one more time before I jump in. I think I'm ready.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
But I know.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it.
It's really gonna go slash someone's lines on their fucking lawnmowers. Really? Forgot what I hate so much about the summertime. Because it gets so hot so fast around here. And everyone's like, I'm gonna mow my yard every day to make up for every day in winter that I missed.
And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer, or for anything else we have to make that clear? I don't think he is. Well, around here there's nothing else to do. Either you make meth or you mow the yard. That's it. So.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff!
Actually...
It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
I think I know what I need to hit. Yeah, or stream video games. Not many people took that option. Yeah, Hiro's handwriting.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts.
No, that's wrong.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Thank you, Sakura. Thank you.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
Agreed.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
You're a dick, but you're right.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Of course, he passes it off to me.
Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The Illuminati. No, it was Hero. Hero was in the suit. He just didn't do anything.
I got it! Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Why are you giving me do everything? Things that were used to move his body. Well, it was the tarp and it was the dolly. But to specifically move it, it was the dolly.
I got it!
Still one more thing. Oh, it would be the tarp then.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
So the attitude.
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Excuse me, bitch.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Wow. I've never had someone sound so nice while being so mean. I can explain to him why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room. A new element. Of course there has. I'm reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Just like locking on, you have to press the tab key in time at the tempo marker. Basically, just remember the tab key now has a function along with right mouse and left mouse. You'll automatically reload at the start of favorite time and your ammo will not decrease. But if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all, in which case you can ignore everything I just said. Oh, shit.
You had it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Oh.
I cannot agree.
This is...
You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere.
You have to reload it one at a time.
You miserable wretch. You had it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you.
What am I doing wrong?
You miserable wretch.
What am I doing wrong?
Cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies
I have
will
no
get
idea
you
what I'm doing
nowhere.
wrong.
Do your worst. You miserable wretch. You miserable wretch. You had it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool.
Visually and audibly, this doesn't, like, match up in my
Lies
brain.
will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. I cannot
No
agree.
idea.
This should prove it.
I mean, I guess I got out of there alive, although barely. That naked time is nasty.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels
That,
had a
I don't know, it
blood
just
stain
kind of
on
felt
it.
like it fell apart. Anytime it has, like, the thing going across the screen with, like, the circles that implies that's where the beat is, to me it doesn't sound like that's where the beat is. It sounds like it's off in one direction or the other. Just really... I don't know, it almost felt like when you're playing Clone Hero and your calibration isn't right. It's like it's fucking off, and it's just, eh. So I was just like, eh.
There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's trail. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
That would be fair. Yeah. Celeste really ate me that much.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. Okay.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No, that's wrong.
Can't bend over in the suit. We went over that. Try to keep up, bitch.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together, remember?
Yeah. Not to mention you can't bend at the waist, yeah.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
You could just kick it.
Well, What's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
Because you wouldn't be able to load the body on it in the first place, bitch.
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
You can't. Absolutely no chance costume is taken off just to move the body because you can't take it off by yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
We just went over this. I know.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
You were there when we... Oh my god.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself,
I literally just recovered
I don't think he would
somehow.
have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How'd you get hurt? A guy hit me. Robo Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now. But the blueprints had the name on it. You wouldn't have decided to just call him that. You knew what it was. So...
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
Thank you, Kyoko.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
Right?
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
Yep. Celeste saw something.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the third floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down to the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
Came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi.
At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the third floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Fumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
Yeah, we're not hallucinating.
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for two missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
Good girl.
And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth, I have to find them. Yeah.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
No, that's not true.
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
What button is it you use to eat someone's words? To turn their words into your own bullet? Because I think that's what I need to do. Because there's literally the thing. They contradict each other. Hold fire, okay. Were they really used in that order? Okay.
So, regarding Taka's death,
Oh
I
no.
wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
I don't remember the order and how to do
We
it.
already know what order they were killed in.
Shit.
Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
If I get it wrong,
Because of the
I
numbering
could be
of
in
the Justice
deep
Hammers.
shit.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came
Good
after.
quote. Good quote. Oh shit.
So, Regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hand.
Oh, thank God.
No, it's wrong.
Oh.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. I got it. It's his watch. Oh no. Oh, wristwatch.
Now I understand.
Easy peasy.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Yep. Almost 10 o'clock, yep.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe. When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true! We're all in the clear!
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
I've heard more stupid things.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up!
Well, fuck you, hypocrite.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing. Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway. In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
Could have been gone for more than a minute or two, so the killer was able to get in and move the body in that short amount of time. Yeah.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
No. I was gonna make a Gurren Lagann reference, but
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
yep.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... No!
Someone give this man a Scooby snack, Jesus.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Is it really possible? Oh, God. Broken wristwatch. Well, how does that help me?
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
How the fuck do you know?
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
That's not
Are
true.
we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Okay, so this is another one. I have to grab one of their statements as a bullet and fire it. I was right all
Are you saying
along.
that when we first found Hifumi
Which
in the
one,
nurse's
which, though?
office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Fucking hell.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I think I got what I need. I hope.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
no, that's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
He's about to contradict you, I'm guessing.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Second one. The first time I played was when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room, and the second time was when both bodies were rediscovered. Yeah, because it wasn't. Yeah. Any other time, I shit you not, any other time I'd be like, oh, easy peasy, but with 1 heart.
I got it!
Well, 1.5 hearts
We
now.
heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Yeah.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was really, really brutal, Jack.
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Dude really wants to mow his yard.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
What's up, Johnny?
This whole thing is pointless.
It has to be proved that it shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. I mean, I know what I would use. I don't know if they'll buy it, though. Is the fact he wiped off his glasses. Got him.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved
Here it
and
comes.
his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Gotcha.
No, that's wrong.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can. I got it!
Nice. Up to 2 hearts.
It
Feeling
was
better.
a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office.
Which is a fair assumption.
He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
No, it was blood from the refrigerator.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
Very much so, Johnny.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's body? It's easy, dude.
I got it!
2.5 hearts.
It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Yeah, it does.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Yeah, I stream from 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 to 8:30, and then 9 to midnight. 3 times a day, every day. Except when I'm like out doing stuff, like when I'm at expos and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed.
That was a little bit of a premature victory there, Meows, but nice. Well played. Do you want to pick where the 5 goes? Well, the gift sub.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
You mean the note? Thing that Hifumi stole from Taka. What's that note?
I got it!
Back up to 3.
You're
Nice.
talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
Yeah.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
Found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monkoma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Me in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants, obviously.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still. I can't let her get to me. Please. Please don't. Oh no.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No! Gotcha!
No, that's wrong! No, there absolutely is a connection.
Oh, I got you.
What the hell are you talking about?
What's up, Walrus? How you doing?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Hide the evidence.
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Fact that he... Proof that Hifumi stole the note from Taka. I guess the fact that it was ripped? Yeah.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note...
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Hero, please.
Sorry, no.
They've already been, nerd. They got locked in a while ago. We'll be doing 2 in June and 3 in August.
When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
What about the hammer that was cleaned?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Or a great liar.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Spotless hammer, but
Was
that's
it
not.
Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon?
They didn't.
How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Because they didn't.
sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the
No.
Justice Hammers.
No, that's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
It's also possible that no one was working with Hifumi, it was just they had a chance and they took it, perhaps?
Hold on a moment. I still think it's
Exactly.
strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
Exactly.
So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least as we thought at first, but...
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
I see what to do.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is...
No, that's wrong. Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you.
Exactly.
However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
It's pretty smart, honestly.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
I think I know who did it just because of how they've been acting this entire case.
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko's really amazing. Although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. It's almost unnatural how good she is
I
at this.
understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. in the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person that seems to fit. Yeah, obviously me.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Well, I mean, he did have the hots for you. He would be very easily manipulatable, so...
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common?
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
He's gonna say something condescending. Here we go.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Of course.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
She baited us away.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
Which is very uncharacteristic of her.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down to the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
What was that? Came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi in the nurse's office.
It was to get us to divide into two groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
It was really smart.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's been going at it for almost 2 hours. I don't know why. I don't know how it takes you that long to mow your yard. Anytime I've ever done it, it takes half an hour tops. I'll lead the hunting party. Seems more interesting. Yep. You made us split up. I know, I was there for it. I remember it.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
Honestly, Shark, it wouldn't surprise me. Dude's just sitting out there, his lawnmower sitting in one spot on the yard, and it's just going. He's not even on it. It's just going, sitting there, making as much noise as possible, and then he's sitting, like, crouched down beside the lawnmower with a pair of fucking nail clippers, each blade of grass.
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
Certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all gonna die here. We're gonna die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said the Celeste comment doesn't make sense. What is he alluding to? I know what he means. I know exactly what he means. Dude.
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
That's the phrase that's bad.
And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Gotcha. Should only known about Hifumi's death. That in mind.
All
I got you now.
Was, they must really be enjoying this.
How far away
Enjoying
is he from
the
my
sight
window?
Of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like...
No, it's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
Not really, Jack, honestly. Kyoko is top tier for me right now.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Yeah, it's been Kyoko for a while now.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall.
Do you know something? Something I would like to do. One day, I'd like to wait until I see that neighbor like out, like cooking something on the grill or something, because I'm sure they'll do that, because they're all dude bros, you know, and they would go out and cook something on the grill. I'd like to go out there while they're on the grill, get in my car, and just put my hand on my horn and just sit there for like 5 hours with my horn going. And be like, I just like the sound of the horn.
So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
Well,
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on.
No.
And then she used the camera's timer to
she wouldn't fit in the suit.
set up the picture.
Camera doesn't have a timer.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
This dude has moved on to someone else's yard now. He's not satisfied with mowing just his yard. He now feels the need to mow someone else's yard. I'm gonna go find a specialty store that makes custom dildos, and I'm gonna buy him one that is a lawnmower. Since he loves his so much, I want him to be able to fuck it. He's like right there. Like, I shit you not. If I stick my head out of my window, he'll be right under me. He could not. He's got to be like right up against my house. Fuck you. This is disgusting. And every summer, every goddamn day, he mows the yard 5 times a week. It's insane. Jesus.
If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. Oh, it's Hifumi dragging away the robot because they knocked him out. Oh shit.
I got
That
it!
didn't even occur to me.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. Was that really possible? Oh boy.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out!
This is
Then
fucking
you just dragged me
lawnmower.
across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way! You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Fuck you.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous.
I know what I need to hit.
As you can see in the picture,
But I don't know
the
what to hit it
suspect
with.
is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up
That
straight
is the
like that.
phrase.
Then the fortune-telling
But
idiot is the
I don't know what to
culprit
hit it
after all!
with.
No way!
Oh, I have... Okay. No, I don't want help. It's blind.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight.
No, that's wrong.
That was so hard.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Guilt.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Guilt.
Checkmate? Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
That's a face.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
She still won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. Please don't be the rhythm game. I can't handle another one of those. Ah, shit. Kyoko, you clever bitch!
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
When you start it up, it'll display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. This is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than, yeah, whatever.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Well, that's stupid.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it.
Here we go.
Let me go over the case again, from the beginning.
Here we
and
go.
shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Here we go. It's comic book time. Dude, there's so many. Holy shit. Look at him, he looks like a, well. He does tractor, holy shit. I'm gonna come back to that one. That's a 4. I'll come back to that one. Shit. Was it 2 that he had? I don't think it was. I think it was 3. Fuck, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember which hammer he had there. Shit. Okay, that one, I know where that... His backpack? That would be the plane hammer, which you just used to kill him. Is there anything else that makes sense there? Not really. Alright, so now I need to go back and like fix those. I'm also gonna like do a full check of like everything up to that point, make sure I haven't fucked anything up. Okay, so good there. I think. None of those make sense. That doesn't make sense. I guess. Well, shit, that's the only thing that makes sense there. I'm gonna have to go for it. And then you took the picture. And then at 6 o'clock, Justice Hammer 4. Right? I think. How you doing, Liam? Welcome to me trying to assemble a comic book. I'm trying to remember. Oh! I got it. Because that was there. And then later, here was 3. And then we found 4. Yeah, okay. I'm going to double check everything else, make sure we're good. That's got to be right. And then the plane hammer that she scrubbed afterward. Good to go?
The killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when
Oops.
they
Finger
drugged
slipped.
him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story.
Hey, Feathers.
With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is... Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Damn.
I lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Lost the accent like that, too.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that fucking that bullet time one fucked me up. Still got an A overall though. 111 medals. Dope.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I saw Brevin. That was intense. That happens. Kyoko's better anyway. It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The black, and this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was... Yep. God.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. Guess trying to work with someone else is a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. How'd you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. Sure she relied on her specialty, lying. Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, you know, your boobs? I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get him to act as my accomplice, I used her. Oh, so you stole Alter Ego. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Yeah. Yep.
Say what?
Don't worry about it, Monokuma. Shut up.
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. Totally out of the loop as usual.
In other words...
Then you're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's a big old yes.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you come up with. Last night after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit.
Actually...
Something I could talk to you alone. It's about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What? Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I showed it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
Wow, man, you played him like a fucking fiddle. How did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You're correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
He threatened me.
Oh,
As for me...
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
what?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice. Wow.
Damnation!
That's... Wow. I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he'd go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. Can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm gonna kill him.
Unforgivable.
I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wow. Wait, if you go now, you'll be playing right into his hands.
Actually,
Taka's planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Taka's gonna try to kill you. Rip.
indeed.
And all so he can keep her to himself.
This is unforgivable. Completely unforgivable.
Honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? No.
I swear I will save her!
actually,
Then would you like to join with me? It just so happens I've come up with a plan. I devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. Wow. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Fumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. Wow.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. It was my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So why'd you pick me for the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it.
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed even my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. Mean.
Well.
When you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? No, I believe that Ultimate World Compass would absolutely be the awful guy. It's just he snapped. It's not really the Ultimate Moral Compass anymore because he kind of snapped and he's using like a blend of personalities. So, how'd you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
Simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that. Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi so nobody could doubt him. I told him that and he believed it. Seems very straightforward. Stereotypical. I just matched the lie up to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly right up to the moment of his death.
So in the end,
Oof. There would have been no point in my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
Well, that's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder
Nah,
about
he derives
that.
his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But
Uh-huh, yeah, you were playing the field.
You little bitch. Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch.
That voice line is my favorite. I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And you want to know why?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever. Forever. I can't even talk.
Honestly,
There was no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
as for me,
It was all for that dream. And that was...
isn't it wonderful?
to live in a European castle. I guess I can't really say I'm surprised. She wants to be a vampire queen, nice. And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers / bodyguards. I was gonna make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every... Oh my god. Sign me the fuck up. Once I obtain that, I would create a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Yeah, this is fine. Living the rest of my life with only my dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Okay, sure. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing
unfortunately
to
my
be
dreams
done.
didn't scatter to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
Wow. Damn. How can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The consciousness deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I'd like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
She'd just get executed again. She smiled. And when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Here we go.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What? Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again, in another life.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Agreed, Liam. She's about to be hotter than ever before. Okay. You did it. I'm proud of you, Monokuma. Good job. You put out the fire. We're so proud of you. By the way, I'd like to point out, 2.5 hours now. Still. Third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your
What are
lives.
you gonna do?
Here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation. No, it's a normal sized yard. They just fucking mow it 7 times at once.
Let me out of here!
What do you care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. It's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this shit? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey,
So
hey.
what's the deal with that?
Wah?
What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh, how exciting.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. I have several questions. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body. What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things get kind of awkward. I think it's time I got out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys go enjoy your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later.
Wow. Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko. Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key Celeste gave you?
so...
It's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
Yep. Celeste probably hid it there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Better go check.
Indeed.
We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
"You're gonna go on alone from here." Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why?
so...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go with her.
What?
You. Yeah, let me go. I want to touch her butt. Standing here arguing is just gonna draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Pff, do whatever you want. Thanks, dick.
well then.
Yo,
Yeah, you guys go get some food. How about some buttered toast? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? You goddamn right. Are you jealous? Does that mean what I think it means? I hope so.
Okay.
Good luck. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show them a little backbone. I tried to forget what she said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Yeah, let's go.
So then,
We need to get into that locker. As the locker swung open, we saw...
You're really cold.
Hi. Been a while, hasn't it? Okay, so here's a quick question. Given what I know about computers, having that thing running in the background analyzing files is going to be quite a battery drain. That thing's not been plugged in for days. There's no way that laptop has any juice left. Just saying. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait a while longer. Nice. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second since we have this opportunity? I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me. What are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
you...
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like, what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No! I believe in you.
What?
Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. Aww. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then,
That's fine.
fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing, where I've been going. You see, What I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she'd told me with my own 2 eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the 2nd floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back. She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. And the secret Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden here? One of those tiles looks very out of place. She said it was way in the back of the storage closet. But I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back storage closet, and suddenly, as if I were being yanked in, same time as I heard the sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what... It would appear that I am criminal scum. And opening this wall was against the rules. They coming for me. Oh Lord. It's Point Pleasant. Someone's always being a jackass or getting arrested or blowing something up. It's Point Pleasant, come on. I fall through the back of the storage closet. It turned out the back wall was like a revolving door and I made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the 2nd floor is a storage closet. In the way of the back of that closet, there's a secret room. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? Some tissues. Does that say good paper? There's a bunch of files, what look like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry. It's the only thing here not covered in dust. Someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand. Before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the... Okay. Turn my attention to it. You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I understand if it said I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. This strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words. You must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? Well, I'm not going to sleep tonight. A strange sound rang out through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Ow. Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. Well, shit. An empty bookshelf. Huh, empty? Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. My body was heavy with pain and my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back toward my room. Somehow I made it back to the 1st floor of the school. The further I walked, the more I felt things are getting blurry. Can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. After that, as if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint but undeniable. That sound, it's coming from the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here in the gym? Oh, shit. I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. It's an awful lot of onomatopoeia. Before me, there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. Nah, one side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? And could it be? The mastermind spy is... Don't you guys want to know what happened? Holy shit. I have so many questions. Wouldn't it be like the biggest total dick move if right